This episode, along with hundreds of others from Calaroga Shark Media, is available without commercials. Just look for the banner on your Apple Podcast app to subscribe and try it free for a month.
Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Royal insider Deep Crown tells us these solemn D-Day commemorations represent one of the royal family's most critical functions, honouring the immense sacrifices that safeguarded Britain's freedom while deftly leveraging such symbolism to cement the monarchy's international prestige. Make no mistake, as bureaucratic and archaic as the trappings of royalty may seem, these public displays of reverence are empathy and are master classes in fortifying the Crown's political capital on a global stage. You witness the consummate professional showcasing their talents, the monarch's deftly projected solemnity intersecting with the subtlest hints of relatable human emotion, the glistening tears, the quavering voices, Camilla and Charles, William's poignant tributes. These are not mere platitudes, but masterworks of a rejuvenated House of Windsor, reasserting its indispensable role as the empathetic avatar of British identity and values. Let the skeptics scoff at such grandiose spectacles as wasteful pageantry. For the royals, commanding the global narrative through symbolic resonance is not just a luxury, but an existential imperative, deftly capitalizing on momentous commemorations to reinvigorate their relevance and solidify their future primacy as ambassadors for Britain's interests. This is the firm's true genius. During an emotional D-Day commemoration ceremony on Wednesday, Queen Camilla fought back tears as she listened to a Navy veteran, Eric Bateman, recount the horrors of war. Bateman emotionally described jumping from boats to land on the beaches of northern France, saying, "So many men and women, including my dear friend Fred, joined up with me, but unfortunately never made it." His words visibly overcame Camilla with emotion, and King Charles was seen dabbing his eyes. At the major event in Portsmouth, King Charles addressed the crowd, stating, "The stories of courage, resilience, and solidarity we have heard today and throughout our lives cannot fail to move us, to inspire us, and to remind us what we owe to that great wartime generation." He emphasized, "It is our privilege to hear that testimony, but our role is not purely passive. It is our duty to ensure that we and future generations do not forget their service and their sacrifice in replacing tyranny with freedom." Prince William also gave a moving speech, reading an extract from the D-Day diary of Captain Alistair Bannerman, addressed to his wife on the morning of the landings. William told the crowd, "We will always remember those who served." In his programme notes, King Charles expressed profound admiration and respect for D-Day participants, adding, "It remains our solemn duty to continue to honour the outstanding gallantry, service and sacrifice of those who took part in that perilous mission." The Independent reported the King, Queen and William spent time meeting veterans in Portsmouth after the ceremonies. The King and Queen were seen patting the hands or touching the arms of several veterans as they moved around the informal gathering. One D-Day hero asked William if Kate was getting better. William replied, "She'd have loved to be here." Speaking to another veteran, William said, "We want you here in 5 years' time for the 85th. Today, the King and Queen will attend the Ministry of Defence and the Royal British Legion's commemorative event at the British Normandy Memorial at Versailles to mark the 80th anniversary of D-Day. His Majesty is patron of the Royal British Legion. William will attend the Canadian commemorative ceremony at the Juno Beach Centre, Courcelles-sur-Mer, hosted by the Government of Canada. His Royal Highness will join Canadian D-Day and Second World War veterans as well as Canadian Armed Forces personnel, cadets and wider youth representatives at the event. William will also attend the international commemorative ceremony at Omaha Beach, St. Laurent-sur-Mer, joining over 25 heads of state and veterans from around the world and marking this historic anniversary. At the National Memorial Arboretum in Staffordshire, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, Edward and Sophie, will join veterans and their families at the Royal British Legion's Service of Remembrance. The Duke and Duchess of Gloucester will attend D-Day 80, remembering the Normandy landings, an evening of music-led multi-generational storytelling, reflecting on the Second World War at the Royal Albert Hall. The Duke is the late Queen Elizabeth II's cousin and a full-time working member of the royal family. As the first member of the royal family to arrive in France for the D-Day anniversary commemorations, Princess Anne unveiled a statue honouring a World War II Canadian Royal Regina Rifleman in Normandy. In her role as Colonel-in-Chief of the regiment since 1982, the Princess Royal gave a speech paying tribute, stating, "How fitting it is on this 80th anniversary of the landing and the commencement of the battle for Normandy that the statue has been unveiled in honour of the Regina Rifles, who sacrificed so much for the cause of liberty and freedom." Royal historian and expert Dr. Tessa Dunlop believes Prince Harry's absence will be felt at the D-Day commemorations. Given his strong military background, she told the Mirror, "Once upon a time, Prince Harry was a regular fixture at D-Day commemorations. His particular blend of emotional intelligence and military experience meant he always got the most out of World War II veterans. In 2016, he famously wished a couple of nonagenarians well before their annual pilgrimage to Normandy, telling them how much he respected their actions on the beaches, then cheekily adding, 'You don't get into trouble. If you do, don't get caught.'" Palace Intrigue will be right back. During an appearance on Good Morning Britain, Sarah Ferguson refused to be drawn into discussing the reported feud between King Charles and Prince Andrew over the funding and upkeep of Prince Andrew's residence at the Royal Lodge. When asked about the situation, Sarah stated, "I tend not to get involved in brothers' discussions, and I think that's the safest place to be." She acknowledged living at the Royal Lodge, saying, "I'm a guest, for a start. I'm a very lucky guest and a very comfortable guest. Thank you very much." However, Sarah maintained she does not get involved, adding, "I let the brothers discuss it between themselves." John Lennon's son, Sean Ono Lennon, doesn't appear to be a fan of Harry. Lennon had shared a review of Harry's memoir, Spare. The two-word review simply stated, "Spare me." Lennon added, "We met once. That was before I realized he was an idiot." And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or your app of choice. Leave us 5 stars if you love the show, or write us a review. Remember, you can get this show and many others from Calaroga Shark Media as a subscriber. You can also get bonus episodes from Deep Crown on Sundays, and you can do that all through the link in the show notes. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.